and we've got our resident Ivy Leaguer here, Marcellus Wiley.
Thank you.
So we're putting on our thinking caps, and we're going to take a deeper look at some of the big issues in sports. All right, come on, Darnell, bring out Marcellus's thinking cap.
Darnell, what you got today, though? Oh, my. That's that Warren System.
That's Warren System pride.
Hit him with that. You got to educate me sometimes. The best high school in the nation.
Steven, are you comfortable right now? I mean, are you comfortable?
I graduated high school.
What junior college did you graduate from?
I was only there 2 weeks. 2 weeks? That goes to show you, education is overrated.
None and done.
Overrated.
None and done. Let's move to LeBron James. On the latest episode of LeBron's The Shop on HBO, Drake is incredibly deferential to King James, admitting that he asked LeBron for guidance and approval on how to respond to a diss track by Pusha T and Kanye West, and explaining why he chose to take the high road and not respond at all.
I wanted to do other things. I didn't want to further your reputation or your career by rapping back at you and having this exchange. And that was it for me.
Drake takes you and like, am I letting you down?
Yeah, what'd I tell you?
What did you say to him?
He said that I can never let you down.
I said, listen, as a hip-hop historian who loves hip-hop, I would love for you to respond.
Of course, we're funny here.
I did, by the way. I did,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
You wrote the song.
I did,
Yeah.
and I said terrible things.
Yeah. I said,
I
want you to every time respond every time. I said selfishly in all caps.
Yeah.
You're selfish. Yeah.
I said,
but you want to hear it.
I want you to know one thing. We're family. You're a brother of mine. You could never, ever let me down. Ever.
All right, for me, that was a very weird dynamic given the fact that LeBron is not in the hip-hop world. Drake is managed by Birdman, the modern-day Suge Knight. Also, for about the past 20 years, rappers have been at the top of the black culture food chain. Jay-Z and Beyonce have been the first family of black popular culture. Jay and Bey were friends of the Obamas. But watching Drake with LeBron made me wonder if there's a cultural shift happening with the black athlete reestablishing himself as the head of black popular culture. It seems to me LeBron James is now the king of black popular culture, supplanting Jay-Z.
Hey, it's B, not Bay. It's B. Get her name. Don't do the queen like that. That do the queen like that.
I'm sorry.
Texas.
I'm sorry.
It's B.
All right, Marcellus, we'll start with you.
Get it right. You're right.
Is there a cultural shift here? Am I right?
I don't think there's a shift. I think we're returning to form. Thank you very much. Let's talk about what the form is. Athletes have always been the most respected in our culture. Why? Because we're in the meritocracy. You actually beat somebody. You actually faster somebody. You actually dunked on somebody. Where everything else becomes this subjective experience. Oh, that sounds better. That looks better. And in a world where we're talking about fashion, sports, and music, which is culture, athletes have always been the most respected, but not the most revered. So it takes the time. Look, you go out with a musician, good luck trying to get some love if you're an athlete, because the musician is going to win. You go out with an actor, good luck trying to get some love in the parking spot when you're out there with somebody of that celebrity. However, this is a time, like when Jordan was winning, when we have a tug of war. Like there's actually an athlete up there with a Jay-Z. So when it's a tie always goes to the athlete. I think we're returning to that place.
I think there's a shift here, and Steven, I'm going to go to you because you're in the hip-hop world and you've been in the athletic world. I feel like for the last 20 years, Jay-Z has been at the top, and LeBron is, in my mind, justifiably, and, you know, maybe it's not intentional, but I'm glad he's supplanting Jay-Z.
Well, I can't really just say Jay-Z been at the top, because when you speak of the culture, it's a whole bunch of faces that make the culture.
Somebody's at the top, though.
I can't
of anything.
Everybody's needed. Everybody's voice makes the culture. It's not one person or one face that makes the culture. I'm sorry, but this is the truth. Jay-Z, Puff Daddy.
Well, you have leaders.
You got athletes. That's at the top, but it's not one person.
I can understand.
It's not one person.
Ali wasn't at the top.
Jordan wasn't at the top.
Jordan was not at the top.
Really? I thought in the 90s you couldn't be bigger than Jordan in terms of culture.
Jordan is the biggest basketball player to date with shoes and everything, so that's another level. But as far as the culture, Jordan has never been the leader of our culture.
Oh, well, I hear where you're going with that.
I understand what Locke is trying to say in the fact that LeBron, because he covers so many areas of the culture, most rappers will not go into politics and into the youth and into the rap world in general or into sports. They just handle their own field. And LeBron is trying to step into the rap game and trying to associate with rappers and show love and show support all the time to his favorite rappers and to music in general. And then he's broadened his scope out into entertainment and all things that are involved in our culture right now. And our culture has expanded over time. And I think he is the one that can cover most of the realms of the culture. So that's what Whitlock is trying to say. And I have an appreciation for it, but I think he's probably one of the major voices. But it's a collective effort in this culture.
But then I think, too, people got to understand that people respect success. People respect money. So when rappers and basketball players get together, it's a mutual respect, especially from coming from nothing to reaching the top. Now, LeBron is different from Jordan and other players because LeBron, you can see LeBron, he's made the money didn't make him. You know, he's perfect example. Playoff game, I'm working the playoff game in the finals. LeBron is warming up. He stops his warm-up to come speak to me. He ain't got to do that. I guarantee if it was Kobe or Jordan, they wouldn't have done that. LeBron is humble. He's a different type of superstar. We've never seen a superstar like LeBron. So that's why you see guys like Drake gravitate to him because they can open up to him. He's not those superstars that hide from that need security. He's not one of those guys. He's very transparent. That's why I think people love LeBron. They respect him so much because he's not the average superstar.
But Steven, you know, part of your point where I just completely disagree with is I don't think at this time LeBron James will be anywhere caught on camera asking another man, you remember when I texted you for your approval? And what did you say to me? That kind of deference from Drake, to me, signals something because I'm telling you, 10 years ago, they would have put out a video of all the athletes going and bending the knee and kissing Jay-Z's ring.
I disagree.
That's a fact.
That's his homeboy.
I think you took that.
That's the whole show,
though. A little bit out of context.
He kissed LeBron's ring.
No, he didn't. What he did was someone he can respect and someone that understands what he's going through and someone whose opinion that he holds in high reverence. And I think that's what he said when he asked him, like, am I tripping? That was kind of like, am I tripping by not doing this? Do I need to respond? He needed somebody he could sound off that had the same amount to lose, could understand the position that he was in.
You're not my brother if you're going to lead me to a dead end and throw me off the cliff.
Right.
Give me a good advice you would give your son.
Give me the game.
And that's all that is.
I
got genuine love. I'm going to give you real game. Like you said, I can easily tell you to go respond. But why do that?
Yeah.
I see the bigger picture.
You don't see any deference there.
But you're using Drake, and this is where I think it gets exaggerated. Drake is not the necessary gauge to show there's been a change of guard.
Who's at the top of the rap game right now?
Oh, Drake. Yeah, but I'm going to talk about Drake the person, and this is not a shot, but this is just reality. Drake is an outlier in terms of what he's been through. He even said it. He's like, man, my experience is different than all of you guys' experience. He said, I walked around with the bad shape up in part because I couldn't go to the shop because I grew up in a white Jewish mother-raised family, and my father wasn't there. Then all of a sudden I get into this game, and I'm just surrounded by people that I thought were heroes. So what Drake is, we call it fanboy. And I respect fanboy because I'm a fanboy now that I'm retired. Drake will walk up to a Kentucky basketball game, Toronto Raptors game, walk up to Serena, walk up to,
give out $1 million on his video.
$1 million video, Conor McGregor. Like, he's like, and it's a thing on Instagram and Twitter that Drake is like bad luck. But the reality is he big ups everyone. So when he goes to LeBron, it's one, his boy, but two, he's like embodied that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and act like you're not big in your own words.
Right. He shows genuine love, and he puts all his cards on the table, and it shows. And his ability to be genuine is something I respect about him because he doesn't care about other people's thoughts. But to be able to ask somebody's opinion who sees the world like you see it, to be at the top and to see and to look down and to see the whole picture, I thought that's what he was doing.
Steven, let me ask you this. I'm stunned by your take on this whole deal. What's Birdman thinking when he sees his guy, he made Cash Money Records? Drake
That's
to me
bigger than him right now.
Drake to me treated LeBron like he was Birdman. We haven't seen that.
But do you think that he's having conversations with Birdman about life and what he thinks he should be doing?
You know what's crazy?
I don't think that's the person that he's going to check on about life and to be socially responsible for what he has to do. I don't think that's what he's doing.
Why is it a problem, Tate, that two guys show mutual respect? And then I wouldn't put Drake at the top. If you know anything about hip-hop now, it's a whole bunch of people at the top. Migos at the top. It's a lot of people at the top right now. You can't just put one person.
Steve, don't do that.
I'm telling you.
Steve, don't
Who's
do that.
filling up arenas?
Yeah, I went to the Migos Drake.
They filled up arenas too.
Migos Drake concert.
Who on tour together?
Them two. And who comes out first?
No question.
Migos, because you got to give it to the man.
Wayne's at the top. There's so many people at the top.
Wayne's my favorite.
If Hov was the MJ of his time, Drake is LeBron James.
Yeah, man.
Of his era. Like he doesn't miss. Like he's always
got 7
on top.
dates in
At
L.A.
the top, he's not at the top by himself.
He got 7 dates in L.A.
You know what I just reached for? You ain't been on since I brought this Twitter on. And I'm starting to get concerned. I'm starting to be concerned about you. Are you concerned about who's watching this and you're going to disrespect somebody?
No, not at
Little
all.
Wayne just texted you. What? Who are you trying not to
Actually, shout out to Wayne. Wayne, that's been my partner. So this is nothing new. This is nothing new. I ride.
How are you going to sit here and tell me that LeBron James right now, he's making movies, he's got television shows out the yin yang, he's opened a school, and now I'm looking at Drake, the biggest star in hip-hop, basically go kiss his ring. You don't watch The Godfather. You done seen people kiss the ring, and that was kissing the ring.
And he didn't go to another.
This goes to show why it's hard for you to show mutual respect and give your brother they flowers while they still living.
To Jason's
because
point,
of this person right here.
To Jason's point, look, if you were the biggest rapper, Drake, why don't you go to the other biggest rapper, which is Jay-Z?
But who are y'all to say who I got to go to?
No, he's saying
Because I may not have that relationship. They have that type of relationship. They spend time together. They talk. So he just had a situation with another rapper who's in competition with him,
right?
And Kanye, and he said and showed you how that broke down by going to him. Like going into your own profession is probably harder than
it got diffused. It got diffused by his own profession. It got diffused by rap a lot and by everybody in that lane. I understand what Jay-Z.
He probably wasn't the only person he checked in with too.
Maybe a better conversation is Jay-Z. Why isn't Jay-Z in that position that LeBron is in?
He called Jay Prince.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's rapper to rapper. That's rap industry to rap
somebody
industry.
else.
He crossed over and went to the athletic sphere, which is to Jason's point of, does that mean that no longer Jay-Z is the god of our culture, the Hov? It's like, is LeBron that guy? And that to me is more interesting.
But we was watching the show.
But we don't know if he did or not.
We was watching the show, Whitlock. The show is called The Shop. We was watching the show. He was talking on the show.
It's just a little piece of the evidence that LeBron James is now at the top of black popular culture. It's a piece of evidence, and I can't believe you, as a former basketball player, I can't believe you can't see it because, again,
not by itself.
I'm going to tell you the point that I thought you was going to make and we talked about was, again, you know why LeBron's at the top? Because LeBron's making the most money. The music,
but I said that.
No,
I said
you
respect
didn't.
money.
I'll give you respect money, but he's making the most money because the music industry has died. It has died. They're not making the kind of money they used to make.
You don't even know who Lil Baby is. He making millions. You don't even know who that is. You don't even know who Lil Pump is. He making money. You know, it's a whole bunch of Lil Rappers you never heard of that's making millions.
Just because they making money don't mean they making LeBron money.
But what's the point of rapping for?
Just because that don't mean they making LeBron money and what these athletes are making now. That's great. Look, man, Tech Nine and I have been friends for 20 years. He's making $7-8 million a year. He ain't on LeBron's level in some of these
millions
athletes.
Is millions.
There's more money.
No, don't do that. Millions ain't millions. Hey, the whole evolution of our culture.
The culture is directed by social media engagement, money, it's different things that to be involved in how you control the culture or how you be at the top of the culture.
Right.
And some guys have some of those categories filled, but nobody has it filled like LeBron.
I was playing devil's advocate, but Jason is on to this point. And the black historians will tell you this. In the 60s and 70s, if you were big, athletic, and said, I have some athletic pursuits, you went where? Boxing. Why? Because the heavyweight champion of the world was the crown of the culture, right? Muhammad Ali and others.
Yeah.
That changed in the 80s when basketball started taking over. Why? In part because they started making more money. Magic Johnson's lifetime contract, and that started to surpass what we saw in boxing. Then that all of a sudden changed with the rap game in the 80s, 90s, and Snoop and all them guys. And we were like, wait a minute, are the rappers making more money than the basketball players? And they certainly have more freedom because they ain't got to be in shape, and they can travel the world and do this thing. I think Jason's point is in alignment to that. Are we back to where basketball has trumped?
And he's more
football,
visible.
too, is sports and athletics are back on top. And we didn't even get to the other part of the conversation.
It's money there. It's money there. But you think Drake is making LeBron money? No.
Steven, stop it.
I didn't say
Okay,
that.
I'm just asking.
Stop. And
I
there's a
didn't say
bunch
that.
of other ones.
Success.
Steph Curry.
We all success. Yeah, man.
Kevin Durant. All these
But Bron is everywhere you turn on a TV. He's on HBO. He's on ESPN. He's on Fox. He's every topic every day.
Yes.
And once he speaks and once he does things, the world opens up. Nobody else likes it. But nobody else has the coverage like he does.
But Steven, you don't count money.
All I do is defend him.
Like, if you have kids, you're counting people's money. You know why? Because when my kid is getting to that age,
my child.
Oh, no. But the reason why you count money, because you want to say what options are out there and what's it going to bring you back in terms of resources. We do count money. If so, I hear too many parents and former athletes and teammates say, man, my son ain't playing volleyball. I'm like, why?
Ain't no money in it.
Well, ain't no money in it. So now we don't.
Why my son ain't playing volleyball.
You know what?
Okay, I tried to save it. I tried to get you.
I say golf. It's not as much money. It's not as much visibility.
Steven.
The man got shoes. He's selling tickets right now, selling jerseys.
I love you,
and
bro.
he on stage with Drake.
You're a hell of a man. I'm glad we participated in this conversation. I love you. But I'm right and you wrong.
See what happened when you ain't got his number? See what happened when y'all ain't texting no more?
Y'all know what time it is.
Dante. All right, coming up. Is everyone overreacting to Aaron Rodgers' latest game-winning drive? Marcellus tells us what he thinks.
Man, who gave him that can?
Oh, yeah. It's a real thing now.
Introducing the all-new Corolla hatchback. Toyota, let's go places.
Not long ago, Rhonda started here. And then more jobs began to appear. These techs in a lab, this builder in a hard hat, the welders and electricians who do all of that. Designers staffed up because they all needed lunch. Teachers, doctors, jobs grew a bunch. What started with one job spread all around because each job in energy creates many more in this town. Energy lives here.
What makes a light beer great? That it has more taste or that it's less filling? Yes and yes. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
Now, the operatic section comes in.
The operatic section, yeah.
It goes on forever, 6 bloody minutes.
I pity your wife if 6 minutes is forever.
Bohemian Rhapsody, rated PG-13.
A once-in-500-year storm should happen every 500 years, right? Fact is, there have been 26 in the last decade. Allstate is adapting with drones to assess home damage sooner. And if a flying object damages your car, you can snap a photo and get your claim processed in hours, not days. Plus, Allstate can pay your claim in minutes. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Golden Corral's Beef Lovers Banquet with our all-new bacon wrapped sirloin filet, smoked beef brisket, portobello top sirloin, and golden delicious shrimp. The Beef Lovers Banquet, Golden Corral, your choice. Move.
Move.
Fox Friday, Last Man Standing delivers a Halloween treat.
You don't want demons at your door, go give them the good stuff. I'm telling you, Satan hates candy corn.
And plenty of tricks.
It just got colder.
Can you not say it that way with a deep voice? It just makes everything sound scarier.
It's like we're fighting evil with Barry White.
Last Man Standing, all new Friday on Fox.
Hey, you good, kiddo? I gotta go to work. I love you. Bye.
Dog home alone all day? Who knows what they'll get into? A day without a walk is a sad day for your dog. But now you can make your dog stay with WAG, the on-demand dog walking app. Get a WAG-certified walker to walk your dog at a moment's notice. WAG walks are insured and bonded. And WAG walkers are vetted, experienced dog handlers who'll give your dog the affection and attention they deserve. WAG has live GPS tracking and will even tell you where your dog marks its territory.
My dog pooped.
WAG, the #1 on-demand dog walking app. Get your first walk free when you download the app now.
The MLB postseason continues tonight with Game 4 of the NLCS. Manny Machado leads the Dodgers in front of their hometown faithful when they take on Christian Yelich and the Brewers. It all starts at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. All right, Marcellus, do you think the Dodgers will even the series tonight?
I do. Rich Hill's out there, my former workout partner. Shout out to him and Mike Boyle. Look, Rich Hill does well against the Brewers. Last time out, 6 innings pitch, 1 earned. So this is a guy that could go out there, make sure they don't get their bats on the ball.
I think he's 5-1 in his last 6 postseason starts. Rich Hill, good pick tonight. All right, it's time now to put Marcellus on the spot and get to some of the hot button issues of the day in a segment we like to call Tell Us Marcellus. Let's start in the NFL, where Aaron Rodgers led the Packers to yet another comeback win last night, putting up 10 points in the final 2 minutes to take down the 49ers. As usual, the media lost their minds over Rodgers' performance. But tell us, Marcellus, were you as impressed with Rodgers as everyone else?
I wasn't, and I don't want to be Donald Downer. I get it. It seems amazing, but one, you shouldn't be in that position in the first place if you're the Green Bay Packers. That's a one-win team out there without their starting quarterback, their franchise quarterback. So I used to always laugh when our teammates would get love and our quarterbacks, oh, man, he's Captain Comeback. I'm like, but why are we down after 3? You know, I used to always sit there and just get caught up with that. But something was revealing about watching Aaron Rodgers last night, and it's his leadership. And his leadership comes into conversation, if not question, because he's feeling the pressure of being the best player without the best resume. Like, he's the best player, but then he looks